The DeKalb County grocery store will reopen for the first time tomorrow after a cashier was killed in a shooting. The suspect is now accused of injuring another cashier and a deputy during the shootout. Today, Joe Hankey uncovered the accused gunman's lengthy, long and winding criminal history.
As Big Bear grocery store behind me here in South DeKalb remains closed tonight, the owner tells me employees will meet for a private vigil. Meanwhile, the man police say shot and killed a cashier inside the store on Monday. He's scheduled to have his first court appearance tomorrow afternoon. Victor Lee Tucker Jr.'s past run-ins with police are well documented. At least 8 arrests in DeKalb County captured by these 6 mugshots. And now felony charges, including malice murder for the shooting inside the Big Bear supermarket on Monday. Tucker's court record in DeKalb County goes back to 2007. It shows he's served probation for misdemeanor charges and was ordered to take classes for anger management and parenting. His previous crimes ranged from carrying a concealed weapon to battery, reckless conduct, and family violence. According to the GBI, Tucker got into an argument Monday inside Big Bear when a cashier asked him to pull up his face mask. He then exited the store, came back inside with a gun, and allegedly shot and killed Laquita Willis. Tucker is also charged with injuring a second cashier and shooting Reserve Deputy Danny Jordan, who shot back, wounding Tucker. And a DeKalb County police spokeswoman tells me tonight Tucker remains in the hospital after being shot himself. If released, he is scheduled to have his first court appearance tomorrow at 1 o'clock. There is a public vigil scheduled for tomorrow night at 7 p.m. here in the grocery store parking lot.
All right, a lot of people there to support her family. Joe, thank you.